Hi Avinash, thank you so much for joining us on Blitz Business. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much, Ashish, for having me over. Pleasure is all mine. It's a real pleasure to be on your podcast, vlog, or whatever you want to call it. I leave it to you, but it's a real pleasure to be joining you on this session.
Let's get started then, Avinash, before we talk about all the serious stuff, business and all. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Simple things, yeah. I was born in a simple middle class family like all of us, much older than many of you who are on the podcast, certainly much older than you. So spent my entire childhood in various parts of the country, born in Nagpur, lived in Agra, spent a little bit of time in Dubai in schooling, then came back to Karnataka, place called Ballari, studied there and finished my MBA like everyone else, came down to Bangalore to pursue my dreams. Started off in telecom with Reliance, spent couple of years there. Then had a long stint again in telecom with Tata Teleservices, spent 8 years over there. In enterprise business at that point in time, headed the Karnataka region for them. A fantastic learning experience, loved every moment of it. And so I keep telling everyone that the 2000s, the 90s is when India truly became like this free country, right? Capitalism came in, opportunity started, and in 2000 it's really started blossoming. So there is a graphic, I don't know many people know or don't know, where the movement of Sensex is marked with the movement of Sachin Tendulkar's runs. So every time the Sensex scored X number of runs, Sachin Tendulkar scored that many number of runs. So we are a generation of people where aspirations, started getting fulfilled. After about 11 years in telecom, moved to real estate, joined Knight Frank. I was the regional director for the southern region. Then spent a couple of years there, and then spent 8 years with Purvankara. Was heading Provident Housing, and then I was taking care of Purva Land. Again, a great experience. And after working for almost 2 decades, little more than 2 decades, decided, okay, it's time that we do something on our own and started AllDRX. It's been now it's going to be 4 years, along with me and Anand, who's the other founder. We both got together and said we should do something which is truly differentiated. And that is the idea behind AllDRX. So that's a little bit about me. I love cricket like most Indians do. And I love Bangalore. I love Bangalore. I've been like, Bangalore is my city now in many ways. So almost for the last two and a half decades, I've been here. So just love Bangalore. Just love everything about Bangalore. So yeah, this is a little bit about myself.
Wow, it's quite a fascinating. What made you switch from telecom to real estate? That's a new one for me.
Yeah. So I mean, I wish I can tell you there was this grand plan. Okay, there was no grand plan. There was nothing. There was nothing which was planned. It just happened. It just happened. Telecom was going through this very difficult cycle, right? If you know the period of between 2010 to 2015, it was a lot of churn that was taking over in telecom, and it was very difficult. So I decided, okay, what to do next? An opportunity like real estate came my way. I explored it, thought, okay, it's a good opportunity. Let's try and see if I can make it work. Didn't imagine that I would spend so long in real estate. But once I joined, I started liking it. Then when I joined Purvankara, I quite enjoyed myself because I did multiple things. And see, at end of the day, if you're a sales, marketing, operations person, industry matters, but once you get a hang of it and once you realize how good it is, then it becomes easier. So telecom was all B2B. All my life, I was an enterprise sales guy. Then I became the head of in the enterprise business itself and got an in-depth understanding of all aspects of the business. When I moved into real estate, it took a few months to understand what real estate is. But once I understood it, I quite enjoyed it. And then it is B2C. So it was a very good mix of B2B, B2C, marketing, large budgets. So I think all is good end of the day. But the shift happened not by design. I mean, it was not like I wanted to move to real estate. It happened because there were a number of triggers, but also it was a good opportunity. I said, okay, let's take the plunge. If not now, when? So that's how it happened.
And in telecom, you were in software side or the hardware side?
Also in telecom, I was on the business side, so heading enterprise business, meaning it was pure account management, go and generate business for your organization. So that's what I did in telecom and a service provider business.
And then, so how did you got the idea to start this particular company? Was this also factor of multiple triggers, or there was a plan to it, like ये करना है?
नहीं नहीं, at some point in time you start thinking कि कुछ करना चाहिए ना. I mean, we should do something of our own, make a difference, etc. And there's always this thing that I want to work for myself, right? There is always this belief that if you could do it for somebody else, you can do it for yourself. So, but I mean, you're much younger, but the generation that we were born in, we were always told कि you should do a job, do well in the job, grow in the job, etc., etc. So that's the cohort, if you may call it. But I think in the last 10 years, India has opened up to great opportunities, and there is this great feeling that entrepreneurship is good. So all our learnings of real estate is what we wanted to bring to the table and do something which is kind of unique. The whole idea is that there are multiple things that you can do in real estate, multiple things. But the easiest thing to do in real estate is say, okay, I'm a good sales and marketing professional. Now I can use this and provide real estate as a service to people who need it, right? That's nothing wrong with it. It's a great idea. People should do it. It's a fantastic idea. But we wanted to figure out what is it that we can do that can impact a larger population. A few years when we were in Purvankara itself, we had figured out how you can fractionalize real estate and how fractionalizing real estate can suddenly widen, your TAM. Suddenly it just becomes much, much larger. Because real estate has certain, I won't say constraints, but I would say certain aspects of real estate are unique to itself. Number one, it is highly illiquid. If you want to sell real estate tomorrow, you can't sell it. Like you want to sell a stock today, you can sell the stock today. Number two, it's hyper local. The process of buying real estate is cumbersome, it's expensive, and there is a certain amount of opacity in the pricing, etc. So we wanted to make real estate accessible to a larger population. So we said, how can you make real estate accessible to a larger population? How can you make people sitting in, say, Sikkim or Assam or any other part of the country invest in Bangalore? Now, if you told them you buy an apartment, people want to see the apartment, people want to see the location, people want to see the, the kind of apartment they're buying, the Vastu building. There are so many multiple aspects that they have to check. But when I go out there and say, look, you can invest 1 square foot at a time and invest in real estate like how you could invest in any other asset class. So I just open up this whole opportunity to the entire world to now come and invest 1 square foot at a time. So that's the big idea. The big idea is to provide great high quality grade A residential real estate, make it accessible to the world at large, because the opportunity of real estate, which is now confined to say 7, 8 cities in our country, but has resonance with the entire country. Everybody in the country wants to invest in Bombay, wants to invest in Delhi, wants to invest in Bangalore, Pune, Hyderabad, all these cities, primarily because the real estate is valuable. Now, how can you remove the constraints, address the problem, and get more people to invest? That is the construct of AllDRX.
So is it like you're focused in terms of commercial or residential?
So we are
Uh,
purely focused on residential.
Residential. So these units are bought by you guys, or it belongs to someone else, and then you are.
No. So basically, the units are bought in an SPV, and in the SPV, what happens is SPV is a special purpose vehicle. There's an apartment of 1,000 square foot bought. Now 1,000 square foot is bought by the SPV. The SPV is the constituents of the SPV are multiple partners. They all come together. They buy the asset, place it in the SPV. Then this SPV starts selling down 1 square foot contracts to people who can buy. Right? Anybody who's interested can now come and invest in, say, Bangalore prime land investment opportunity, Kerala holiday home investment opportunity, Goa holiday home investment opportunity. They can invest in these opportunities by virtue of them being able to own even, 1 square foot, 5 square foot, 10 square foot, depending on whatever they want to own. So this is one. Second is that this is entirely done digitally. There is no paperwork. There is no wet signatures. You come online, you log into your account, create your wallet, complete your KYC, and you can start investing 1 square foot at a time.
How do they make money? Is it the appreciation,
Yes.
or you then further rent it out, or like what's the?
So there are two. two things in real estate, fundamentally how people make money. One is rental returns and two is capital appreciation. So both aspects are at play over here. So if you are investing in, say, Kerala holiday home investment opportunity, when you do that, you are now able to invest in the holiday home opportunity and you are able to participate in the rent roll, meaning there is a regular income that the hospitality asset generate. So you, by virtue of becoming a part of that investment opportunity, you're also getting monthly rentals, as well as you're seeing your property appreciate. As the ARR keeps going up, the property price goes up. Same is the case with, say, an apartment which goes on rent. You keep getting rental returns. Residential rental returns can be in the range of 2.5 to 3.5%. Holiday home rental returns can be in the range of 7 to 8%. Capital appreciation of a good grade A residential apartment is anywhere between 6 to 12% every year. That that is the kind of appreciation you can see. So net, any investor can get a return of upwards of 12% typically. With holiday home, sorry, rental return plus capital appreciation, they'll get a return of 12%.
And any free nights also for the
Yeah, yeah.
holiday.
In holiday homes, yes, yes, yes.
So that's interesting. I think this has picked up in a couple of places I've seen, but then fundamentally that the question comes is, what's the biggest challenge? Why don't we see bigger players, the likes of DLF or Bessie, or these giant in Bangalore also, real estate group entering into this? Like, what's holding them back?
No, so if you look at on our platform, you will have apartment, you'll have an apartment from Godrej, you'll have a plot from Godrej, etc. So that is, I think, nothing is really holding them back. It's just that, see, it's a business model, right? I mean, in the business model, you are a manufacturer. When you're a manufacturer and you have a direct relationship with the customer, and every year in Bangalore, close to 40, 45 to 50,000 units are being sold. Do you really need to do this? Is there a requirement for you to be doing it? My guess is not right now, but there may be a requirement at a later date. So I don't think so anybody is disinterested in it, or it's just a matter of priorities. Right now, the priorities are different. Right now, you would like to see, I mean, so put this in perspective, right? Between 2020 and 2022, there was this whole thing. There was COVID, then there was COVID hangover. So there were issues. So a lot of things are coming together now. As they come together, you will see a lot of traction from across the board. See, ultimately, if you look at tokenization as a principle, everybody is talking about it. I mean, you don't have, it's not just about real estate, right? I can go and fractionalize a painting, and I can fractionalize a wine cellar. I can fractionalize a wine bottle. So there is a huge scope for something of this nature to happen. So I think it takes time. Any new concept takes time, develops. People, I mean, there are early adapters, then there are late bloomers. So both are significant. We'll see that it will keep getting more and more traction as we go along.
So let's talk about some numbers in terms of, let's pick up Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, obviously. So what is the per square feet rate currently happening? So if someone is buying square feet of Bombay will be
Bangalore, most expensive.
Bombay will be at least
Yeah,
in,
Bombay is very expensive. I mean, Bangalore also is quite, I mean, so Bangalore has moved, right? Bangalore would have been an average a couple of years back or 3 years back at 6,500 rupees per square foot, you would get something nice. Now, the same thing would be available at 9,000 rupees per square foot. So there has been a significant uptick over there
that's
in the
unfurnished or furnished.
unfurnished. That's developer to consumer. So there has been an uptick in the pricing. There has been an uptick in demand, and there's a significant uptick in velocities. The prices have gone up, but Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune remain very reasonably priced cities. You would still get a very good two-bedroom home for 75 lakhs in a good location with excellent connectivity, which is like 15 kilometers from the center of the city, or 15 kilometers from where you live also, or where you work also, or maybe closer to your workplace also. So that way, Bangalore is remains to be quite decent in terms of affordability. Gurgaon, I mean, 100 crore apartments are being sold in that city. Bombay also the same thing. So, but if you divide Bombay into Bombay and MMR region, that is the Mumbai metropolitan region, you will see that there is a degree of price correction there also, that it is suitably priced for people to be able to invest. So I think at 75 lakh rupees, even today, you will get a good home in India in a reasonably good place. I'm talking about a 1,000 square foot home. in any of the cities that we mentioned. The thing with investments on this platform is that you don't need to put 75 lakh rupees. You don't need to take a loan. You can now come and buy 10 square foot of an opportunity in Bangalore. And that 10 square foot, you can watch it. You can buy 10 square foot here. You can buy 10 square foot in Kerala. You can buy 10 square foot in Goa. You can buy 10 square foot in, Hyderabad. So suddenly you now have a portfolio which resembles a portfolio which is similar to your similar to your stock exchange portfolio. You have a bunch of small caps, you have a bunch of mid caps, you've got a bunch of large caps.
So it's like the REITs. I think there are three listed REITs, right?
Yeah, it's very similar to very similar. It's just that in our case, we just made it. Our unit is 1 square foot, but it's very similar. Yes.
So and who manages the property? You guys are managing, or
Yeah,
like?
yeah, we manage it. We are the asset manager for the property. We are the property manager. So we do everything end to end to ensure that whatever is required to be done to make sure that the property gives the right kind of returns is done.
And have you used your own platform and bought some per square feet in like investing in your own platform? Yeah,
Myself,
yeah.
my whole life is invested in the platform. So I think my wife has bought, and I think a lot of people have bought. Yeah, my wife and my sister, friends. I mean, today, touch wood, I think we made reasonably good progress. Though we have a long way to go, but we are happy with where we are today. From a initial product market fit to the initial uh, adaptation to of something like this, the fact that we are getting people from across India come and invest on a platform, I think that's significant. So long way to go, but the steps that we have taken so far are very encouraging.
So Avinash, have you raised capital so far for this? It seems
Yeah,
pretty
yeah, we have raised. If as the plan stand today, and if everything is going as per what we have envisaged it to be, we should be moving into Series A short.
So how many properties are listed currently on the platform?
So we have 7 opportunities listed on the platform. These opportunities are in Bombay, Pune, Goa, Hyderabad. 2 opportunities in back.
How is Goa doing? There was a little backlash over Twitter X, sorry, couple of weeks back. So how are things? How are the rates in Goa? Like, what's some insights?
Goa is fantastic. Goa is a fantastic market. Whatever happens in Goa, it's just like whatever happens in Vegas remains in Vegas. Like whatever happens in Goa remains in Goa, and the prices are not going anywhere. It's a very good market. I mean,
What?
prices are not going down. Goa pricing is very hard to tell, Ashish. It's like it depends on the micro market. So if it's in North Goa, you would end up paying almost 15,000 per square foot for a reasonably furnished 1,000 square foot apartment. If it is South Goa, you might just pay 6,500 rupees, depending where you're buying and which location you're buying. So on an average, if you're looking for a 2 bedroom apartment in Goa, you can still get something very nice in and around Panjim for about 75-80 lakh. So that way it's not very expensive. 7,500 rupees is a reasonable bet on Goa. But the more, if you want to invest in, say, a villa and you want to do something of that nature, it just becomes more expensive. But Goa is doing very well. It's a great.
North has higher price than South.
Yeah, North Goa has the higher price because the new airport is in North Goa. Generally, North has seen a bit more of traction than South, but South is pristine. I mean, it's such a pretty part of Goa. So both are good. Now, depends on multiple factors, but it also depends on whether you're a 25-year-old or whether you're a 50-year-old, where you go and live, right? If you're a 50-year-old, you would prefer South. If you're a 25-year-old, you would prefer North. So I think there are more 25-year-olds in our country who want to live in Goa and who want to work out of Goa. So North's prices keep going up. But I think there is some amount of parity now. And uh, the difference is not too large.
And any reason not to enter Delhi?
Opportunity right now and nothing else. I think shortly, I think it's on the cards. It's just that we need to figure out. I mean, the markets that we are in right now are fairly straight pass markets from a pricing standpoint, location standpoint, easier for us to do it. Delhi is a little bit more complicated here. Delhi, NCR, and now Gurgaon. Prices in Gurgaon are very high.
Noida
Noida,
is
then yes, Noida, where do you pick the property, the kind of property that you should pick? So little bit of work is required. So we are we don't want to be on the side. I mean, we are erring on the side of caution in terms of ensuring that we pick the right product.
And then in terms of, so I assume one of the expansion plan for you is entering into more markets, but what are those milestones, Avinash, you're looking now to achieve, let's say in a year or two? Like, you're like, ye wali cheeze, I need to do it for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So good, very good question, very valid question. From a milestones perspective, the first thing is because we are a B2C platform, we need to have enough number of users. So we have about 40,000 users today. We want to grow that to 100,000 users in the next 6, 7 months, and then move it to a million users in the next 3 years. So the idea is to have 1 million users in the next 3 years. The same people who have a buying capacity of 50,000 rupees or more. So our average customer today has a wallet size of 2 lakhs. So our customer has invested approximately 2 lakhs. Two-thirds of our customers are less than 40. We have customers from across 36 cities. So we want customers across 200 cities, and we want customers across a wide area of the country, as well as deeper in the sense we need various types of customers coming on board. People who can invest 1 square foot, people who can invest 100 square foot, people who can invest 1,000 square foot. So all categories of customers is what we want to cater to. So purely from a milestone basis, I think user acquisition is an important milestone in the immediate term. Getting our app launched, which is in the next couple of months, getting salience on the app, ensuring that there is again both adaption to doing something like this, as well as there is adoption, right? People like it, people start using more of it. So all that are the near-term goals. But I would say if you give a 3-year scenario, then to have a million users, that is about 10 lakh users, with a potential of 50,000 rupees each, I think that would be a good milestone for us to achieve. If we are able to achieve that, it makes a significant difference to our overall strategy.
So one question which comes to my mind is, so when Avinash, someone wants to sell their portion of shares, right? Who buys it? It's
So they
you
come
guys?
onto the platform. It's a marketplace.
Okay.
The reason why we need 100,000 users is because we need both buyers and sellers. So the buying and selling happens on the marketplace. So in the marketplace, they can come, they can offer their token for sale, they can offer their 1 square foot for sale, and there'll be somebody who's willing to buy it. We are constantly getting more people on the platform to ensure that they buy. We're constantly getting people more.
Doesn't it change the structure of SPV because they have signed it, or is it easy to
No, it doesn't
destructure
change.
the?
It doesn't change the nature of the SPV at all, because these are digital contracts. So contract was held by you. Now the contract is held by me after you sold it to me. That's it. But the cash flow rights of this contract remain with the person who's owning it at this point in time. So it doesn't change anything from an SPV point. No, no holding doesn't change. Nothing it changes. It just changes who is the person holding that.
I assume it's mostly buying happening as of now because you are building one side of.
No, no buying and selling is happening. There have been about uh, uh, 30% of our, uh, 30% of these tokens slash contracts which have exchanged hands. That means somebody has sold, somebody has bought. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, a lot of us, I mean, we have got people from Mount Abu buying and selling. So yeah, so which is unthinkable, right? In real estate, who will buy? If I live in Bangalore and I live in Indranagar, I want a apartment which is close by to Indranagar within the 3 kilometer radius of Indranagar. But now I'm investing in Patancheru in Hyderabad. So that's the kind of growth pattern something like this can see.
And you refer to these things as tokens. So is it like blockchain or something, or you plan
So
to
we
have?
write it on blockchain. We write it on blockchain, and tokenization, tokenomics are typical words used in blockchain, but basically these are just digital contracts.
So are you issuing tokens or no? Just
No, no,
digital
we do, but they're on. It's basically how it works is though it's on blockchain, it's like I buy. I mean, I can only transact on AllDRX. I can't transact that anywhere else. So typically, I can't go and put it on some other chain and say, okay, now take this token and give me another token. That cannot happen. So it's fundamentally, I buy one token, I can sell it on the platform, I can retain it, but they have to come back. It's a closed user group. So you come back to all DRX to do whatever you have to do. And it's fully KYC compliant, meaning I know who's the buyer, I know his wallet, I know his bank account, and only then the transaction goes through. So that way, it is a token, but it is nothing to do with what the token in crypto, etc. means. This is more of a asset-backed token where the cash flow rights of the asset are directly are direct owner of the.
And in the name, how did you get this name Alt DRX? Is there a meaning to it or differentiation, alternative differentiation? I don't know.
No, so alternate is alt, and the idea of DRX is that, like any other marketplace, we are a digital real estate marketplace. So that's why we put all DRX. X is just a, you know, connotation for anything. The moment you said Twitter and you said X, so yeah, so that X is more to do with the fact that you can now digitize most of the assets. So it's a marketplace. So it's a digital real estate marketplace.
What was this? So you came up with the name, or you guys brainstorm? You're like, or something? There is some story to it, or
नहीं alt का story is very simple. There are multiple ways of investing. Here is an alternate way of investing. So alt का story is very clear. Digital real estate marketplace अगर डालते तो it would look very big. So we just crunched it and made an acronym. But no story as such. Just a thought कि okay, can we create a brand that is easy to remember, not a tongue twister, and ensure that it catches resonance. But even today, people will say, when I say alt DRX, they say ALT DRX, because DRX is DRX, ALT DRX. So they don't say alt. So we've made a few changes to make sure people say alt, but nothing much here. Just a just a typical thing what few marketers, when they sit together, they do. We did all that. But fundamentally, we were clear that it will be alternate. Now on the DRX, how do you go about it? We are digitizing real estate, so we said, okay, DRX. Now we don't know. We might tomorrow do something with a painting. So I cannot say DPX. I won't be able to say that. We'll have to figure out how do we manage the R in our. So we'll see.
so you have plans to enter into other vertical segments?
I'm just telling you that we can. I mean, never say never, but at this point in time, we are fully focused on real estate.
And within the sort of real estate, what is the biggest challenge you have seen, Avinash, so far? All businesses have challenges. I mean, before this, I had someone else in a D2C space. They are different. So what are a typical challenge for your business? What I can think top of my head is building the marketplace. It's super hard. Getting the users, but what have you seen?
So you're absolutely right. That is how we also thought about it when we started. कि अरे इससे बड़ा challenge क्या हो सकता है? So this is a challenge. Yes, it is a challenge. It's difficult, but there is a method to that. Meaning, uh, if this is the input, this is the number of users you can get. Meaning, largely today with performance marketing and a little bit of branding exercises, etc., you can do that. But then there are multiple challenges. But most challenges are to do with the fact that anything of this, any what we are doing needs a lot of education, and that education. So we need to figure out the right mix between education and marketing. So we need to educate more or market more is the question. So the more we educate, the better it gets for us. So how do we create reach? How do we ensure we build an environment where people start trusting you and start believing in what you're saying, and then start working with you and I mean benefiting for themselves for sure, but as well as you know, building this large community of people who will be able to invest in 1 square foot. So education, learning is a challenge. Getting supply is a challenge. But overall, I think for us, the biggest challenge is for people to understand what we are doing and then start investing. Once they do that, then they become very happy.
Supply is a challenge. That's a new for me. I mean, the data I saw last week or something like the inventory is piled up.
No, I don't think inventory is piled up. That's a little bit of a myth in terms of inventory pile up. Our real estate project today takes 4 years to complete. So if I launch 100 units, I can sell 25 units every year. So 75 units is the number of units. If I'm left with 75 units, then I have 3 years to sell. So it's not a pile up. The day it becomes 8 years worth of inventory, then there is a pile up, because every year you're going to launch 100. And if you don't sell 25 in that year of that, then there will be a pile up. Right now, I don't think any market is got an overhang of greater than 24 months. So that's a decent 24, 36 months is not a big deal. But what happens with quality supply? I mean, let me rephrase that. Getting quality supply, because I'm getting investors to invest in an asset. So I need good quality, high quality, grade A supply. So that supply is not very easy to come by. So that is something that we have to work on, constantly keep building on it, constantly uh, enhance our value proposition to be able to get good quality supply. So that's something which we do. It's if you had to, I mean, when we started when I started in August 2021. And if you had told me, Avinash, quality will be supply will be a challenge, I would have laughed at you. Meaning, array, itna supply, just exactly what you said. But to get good quality supply, put it through the muster of, pass it through the muster of a good due diligence, high quality due diligence, both structurally and through, legally, etc. All that takes time, and hence it's not such a straight pass.
And for these projects, is it like projects are ready or these are still under construction for
So
the
we only
fact
do ready projects.
ready to?
Yeah. The idea being that market risk is fine, but you can't have performance risk. So if the project gets delayed, etc., so those kind of things should not be. We should not expose retail users to that. That's the idea. That's why we focus all our energies on doing ready to move in, and ready to move in works well for us.
And then, Avinash, any advice for someone who wants to start a business in real estate after your experience here from professional side and startup side? Any opportunity left, or you guys have taken up everything in real estate?
No, no, no. It's great. There are lots of opportunities in real estate. So there are two ends of the spectrum. The one end is becoming a developer. The other end is becoming a channel partner slash broker. Becoming a developer has got huge entry barrier, very difficult, lots of things. Becoming a channel partner has zero entry barrier. It's very easy. Anybody and everybody can become. So, but as an industry, there is so much scope, from a sustainability point of view, there's so much that can be done. From an automation point of view, a whole lot of can be done. From a, building good quality measures, in the sense, how can I enhance the quality of my construction? How can I enhance the productivity of my sales team? So there is a lot of interventions that can happen at various levels. So there's a huge play in real estate as an industry where people can find their own niche and grow that niche. So they should look at that rather than saying I cannot become a developer because it's very difficult today, to acquire land, clean the land, build on it, all that. It's a process in itself. It takes time. The easier thing is to become a broker. You can sell for anyone and everyone. But the key is how we can find something which is in between these two sides of the coin, right? And in that, figure out what I want to do. So there's a lot of innovation happening in the prop tech side. A lot of people doing contracting online, search online, creating different algorithms, then building AI tools to facilitate, you know, user acquisition. So the scope is huge. The scope is huge. So if anyone who wants to start something in real estate, the first thing I tell them is please understand what is 1 acre of land. Once you understand what is 1 acre of land and you understand that land is real raw material, then it will become easy for you to build on that foundation and do what you think is right. Uh, Otherwise, real estate is a great industry and it has great opportunities. I think, in my opinion, real estate must be the second highest or third highest employer in the country because so much of activity happens. So big opportunity for anyone who wants to create a company of their own, as long as they can find a few new things to be done. I think there's a great opportunity. Like if you go and tell somebody in a very large company, look, I can use AI to do collections for you, for example. Why not? AI will call, AI will talk to the customer, AI will ask him to make his payment. Today, you have a huge team which is doing that. Now the AI tool will start doing it. So there's huge scope of technology intervention in real estate, more so from the fact that it's only in the last 10 years that there is a lot of work that has happened on the industry. Unlike, say, an automobile industry or anything else, where there has been so much of advancement in terms of technology, in terms of servicing, etc., because it's been there for more than 100 years. Real estate, I think, has got great scope of for technology interventions, for building on top of what is already there. So there's a great opportunity in real estate.
That's glad to know. A lot of opportunities. So people listening, we always get questions. Is this a good space? Real estate, go for it, guys. As Avinash is saying. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Avinash, for your time. It was such a pleasure and a very unique business model. So it's always good to know and understand how things are shaping up in this space.
Like I said, pleasure is all mine, Ashish. It was lovely chatting with you and look forward to chatting with you more often, maybe meeting you in person and doing something together. So thank you so much. And thank you so much for your listeners. Please log into alldrx.com and see if you want to own 1 square foot. That's also a great opportunity. And if there are people who've got more ideas, want to share with us, very happy to read them, happy to understand and collaborate with whoever is interested.